Welcome back to ADHD Skills with Jess and Alex. She's Jess. I'm Alex. Today we're talking about people time because being around people is good. If we spend too much time alone, it gets tricky. So, Jess and I both work from home. That makes it hard for us to get out and see other people and get out of our own heads. So, Jess, what do you do to ensure that you get people time? And how does your ADHD come into play with that?
Oh, yes, for sure. So, one thing that I've noticed that my ADHD will come into play is that I'll just make plans with a bunch of people and not either write down my calendar or not have them be specific enough. So, it'll just say hang out with so and so or meet up with so and so, but it won't tell me the time, the day, or where we're going. So, I've learned that I need the specifics. I need to know what time we're going, who I'm doing it with, to make sure to write it down and to make sure to figure out what place we're going to because then it helps me hold myself accountable to actually doing it.
Mm.
Oftentimes, working all day, you get in a slum and you just want to be laying on the couch or just relaxing. Well, no, I made a plan. I need to stick myself, hold myself accountable. So by having those specific details, holds me accountable actually for myself. If I, oftentimes too, people will say, oh, we'll figure out where we're going the day of. I say, that's fine, but let me know what time so then I have it in my phone. I'm still able to put it in my calendar that I'm hanging out with someone at this specific time, and then day of we'll figure out. So I give myself those little notes so then it just still holds me accountable. So when I look at my calendar in the mornings, I see I have something else going on later today and hold myself accountable for it. So what about you?
Yeah, I see my ADHD coming into play in that I just kind of forget to make plans. So
Mhm.
that's kind of where I get stuck and it just is really tricky to when you're working all day, you get tired by the end of the day and you just don't want to put in the effort to make plans. So Jess, do you have any little tips or tricks that could help me with making those plans and remembering to make those plans?
Yes, for sure, definitely. That's definitely a tough one. So sometimes what I do is once a week or once every other week, I say I'm going to go do something with someone or I'm going to just leave the house. So remember, you don't necessarily have to be meeting up with someone, but just leave the house and be around people. So that's just also big. So just like going for a walk outside now that weather's nice, but also just getting outside of your house. Also, remember that you can kind of time it. And when I say time it, I mean, don't necessarily say you're going to be out for 4 hours if you don't want to. We had long work days. If you want to just be out for an hour, let people know that, or just go out for an hour and then come back in. But it's just getting outside and seeing and being around people. Don't have to be interacting. Don't feel the need to interact with people. Maybe just go to a coffee shop or just go outside and just be around people and just say, "Hey, I'm going to be do this for an hour and then I'll go back inside." So I think just reminding ourselves that we don't necessarily need to interact with anyone. It's just being in the presence and also time yourself. Give yourself a little timer. Say, I'm going to do this for this long. And if you do it for longer, great. If you do it for less, that's okay too. But as long as you kind of are giving yourself some specifics, I think that that's very helpful.
I like that. So if I'm out and about and I'm just out to be out, I
Hmm.
don't have to talk to people. And I like the pressure of that or the lack of pressure there. It's it's easy to say, okay, just get out with people. You
Yes,
don't have to talk to anyone other than maybe the barista that you're buying coffee from,
exactly.
and just getting in that different environment
Hmm.
and not being by yourself. So, Jess, let's say you are with someone and it's time to retreat again because I'm an introvert.
Yep.
I like I like my alone time, but I also need people time. So when I find myself in a situation where I'm out with people, we're interacting, and my people clock timer, whatever it is up. What can I do?
Be honest with them and just say you're not feeling well.
Mm,
It's not an excuse. You're being honest with them. I kind of say get out of jail free card,
mm,
right? Like you enjoyed your time with them, but now you're peopled out. you're tired. You're not feeling well. You're not feeling fully you.
Mm.
So you're not lying to them. You're being honest with them, but you're just saying, "Hey, I got to go home. I'm not feeling well, like something came up." So, feel free. Use your jail get a free card. That's what I kind of call it because you're not people always say be careful of lying. You're not lying. You're telling the truth. You're just not feeling well because you're peopled out. You're tapped out.
Mm.
Being with people can be very draining. We don't a lot of times we don't realize that. Is being around people can be very, very draining. Not in a good way or a bad way. Just it's just draining. Just because you're interacting, it's draining, especially when you're used to just working by yourself all day long.
Mm.
It can be more work than we think it is. So it's okay to say, "Hey, I'm just not feeling well," or "I'm a bit tired. I'm gonna head home." But it was really nice seeing you guys.
Yeah, I like that. So if you are like Jess and me and you work from home, what do you do to make sure that you get people time? Because, we have offered a few suggestions today, but that's not the end all be all. So if you have ideas, drop them in the comments below. And Jess, final thoughts.
I would just say be open, be honest with yourself, and also be hold yourself accountable. And
Mm.
it's okay to ask people if you are hanging with people, "Hey, can we pick a specific time?" To be more specific, it's okay. And also being around getting outside is good. You don't need to talk to people. You just need to be around people. New environment. So, any last thoughts for you?
No, I think that's good. Just make sure that even if you're an introvert, get
Yes.
some people time.
Hmm.
Because if you're working from home, you're going to spend a lot of time up here in your head, and that is not good.
No.
I've heard it said that your mind is a dangerous neighborhood. Never go there alone. So if you're stuck in your head all the time, you're just going to get caught up in bad thinking, or not bad thinking, but tricky thinking, thinking that can get you down a spiral and not be
Mhm.
good for your mental health. So get people time. And again, if you have any suggestions, drop them down in the comments below. Like and subscribe. Do all the things that YouTubers tell you to do. She's Jess. I'm Alex. Thanks for watching.